Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Tonight is the Old Guard. I'll let Robin get into that when we get there. As always, you can find the links down in the description to where you can find these wonderful people all over the internet whenever they're not here, as well as a link to our friends over at Easy Roller Dice if you want to help support them and give us and get a little bit of discount at the same time. That link lets them know that we sent you, and that helps them out. And helps us out a little bit as well. So without further ado, I'm gonna toss it to you, Robin.
Cool. So, before we get started, a quick content warning. This game features player characters struggling with alcoholism and thoughts of self-harm. If you're in a bad place for that, no one will think less of you for skipping this one or coming back later when you're in a better spot for it. So welcome to the Old Guard. The characters in this campaign are all older adventurers coming back for one last hurrah. And I'm going to throw it to the players to introduce themselves and their characters, traditionally starting with our illustrious producer, Jake.
Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and that's where you can find me when I'm not here, over on twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain, where we run a variety of RPGs, including Pathfinder 2e, Dungeons and Dragons 5e, as well as Kids on Bikes RPG, where you can find Ted on Thursdays along with me. We just wrapped up a Pathfinder 2e campaign, and guess what? We're getting ready to spin up another Pathfinder 2e campaign. We also have a D&D 5e game every other Tuesday, followed by another D&D 5e campaign on the alternate Tuesdays. So we've got lots of RPGs happening over there on Twitch, and I'm going to promote it here for the first time, I think. December 7th is the third Legends of Eleonora charity fundraising stream with Dungeon Master Todd Stashwick and an entire cast of Star Trek personalities, including none other than Gates McFadden. That is, of course, Dr. Beverly Crusher from Star Trek The Next Generation and Picard, as well as some actors who I don't want to butcher their names, but I can tell you that Captain Pike and Uhura from Strange New Worlds will be there. And another person that's I don't think is 100% confirmed yet. But it's going to be an all Star Trek cast. You can tune into MTD on Twitch on December 7th as we raise money for Pavlov Foundation. I will now turn it over to Fraginator. Oh, wait. I'm playing the party barbarian Raziel Rune, the Asimir barbarian, who's normally the easygoing kind of party dad, but it seems of late a shadow has fallen across the party dad. I'm sure that will have no issues whatsoever in tonight's session. Frag.
Hello, I am Fraginator, playing Hasayed Jason, the human quote-unquote ranger. Just happy to be here. I'll pass it to the bride-to-be.
Wait, is that me?
What's good, internet? How are you guys doing? My name's Carl Zavera. I run the Volcanic Knight YouTube channel. And yes, I am playing Klaus Lionflow, a human College of Eloquence bard. And as Fraginator, or just say Jasad, said, getting married. With that, I'll pass it up to the next husband up in the area, Tristan.
That is true. Tristan is a husband. Well, I'm Asa. I can be found just here for now, and I am playing Tristan Marcos. They are a dwarven artificer and the group paraplegic. They have got one working arm. Everything else is mechanical. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else to say except for I think I got his voice down this week, so no more Western Tristan. Sorry for that. That leaves us with Ted, right?
Indeed. So
right.
I am the.
Is it Frag still?
Yes, Fragment.
Okay.
I am the aforementioned character struggling with alcoholism, but I am playing Gelthor Aravel, the Tiefling Cleric, Tempest Cleric, and we're gonna definitely have some words between me and Party Dad, and hopefully I won't ruin Klaus's wedding with a confrontation.
All right. So there are a couple of things that I need to touch base back on that we didn't get to hit last week. The first of which is I'm going to need everybody to make a perception check from before you even left the tomb. And you only need to let me know if you get higher than a 17. I'll just tell you what the DC was and like message it to you.
Definitely
a
didn't see
16.
it. Definitely didn't see it.
I got just lower than a 17.
That's so close.
Nope, missed it.
28.
Hasaid sees it. You weren't there, were you?
He's there.
In spirit.
You were there
I-
in You know what? There have
I was
been other
lurking in the
moments
rafters.
that you might have been able to notice this, so maybe.
Don't waste my crit.
Okay.
He only gets one.
Dude, I don't know what it is about this character, but I have rolled more crits with this guy than I have in every other thing I've ever done.
Gelthor, what'd you get?
9.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, 8.
Well,
8. Yeah, I shook my head and I'm like, yeah, this ain't worth celebrating.
okay. And then Tristan wanted to visit Simon's family crypt before you left, so we will hit that before we go on with the wedding.
Right.
So, it's pretty similar to the one that you were in previously. It's very well kept though. Like people have been coming back to this place and like keeping it up because Simon, he's got relatives and he comes himself sometimes, and your kids come and clean up the graves sometimes because it's kind of a big deal in his culture. The reason that Iridia's family was not quite so well kept is that it's just her.
He's doing science things.
Did anyone come with me into the crypt? Or did I go in alone?
It depends upon what your desires. If you wish to be alone, then Gelthor would absolutely, give you the solace. But if you either didn't say anything or if you asked if someone would come with, Gelthor would definitely do that.
Pretty much all you had gotten is Tristan would have said, I'd like to visit Simon's family crypt before we go home. And that's pretty much all I'll get. I'll give freely.
Well, I don't know how whether you want to make the call, whether Robin makes the call, but I would insight that to find out whether you want to be attended or not.
Yeah, let's do an insight check. I'm curious how how this goes.
So Robin, would you say like typically that would be either a persuasion or a deception check on his end? And I would roll insight.
Yeah, and like Tristan, you know which that is, so go for it.
I'll tell you if you beat it.
All right. Let's see here. 24.
Okay, you can tell very easily that Tristan is too proud to admit that he really would like the support of his friends in this moment, and is trying to just sort of shrug it off like it's their choice. But he would appreciate it if you joined him.
So, I'd be like, I would. So when you say, I'd like to visit the tomb, the family's tomb, I would be like, I'd have no problems, coming with, and I kind of just look to the others, and as Simon, as not Simon, as Tristan is kind of looking away, I'll kind of like do a head nod of like, come on.
Absolutely. Klaus did say from the beginning of this adventure, he made a toast to love, my guys. We love each other here. Come on.
Is
Yeah.
this like a long passage or something we're walking down, or is
Oh,
it like you go
right,
through it?
okay. Let me fill you in real quick. So this cemetery, it's full of mausoleums, and it used to be out in the middle of the desert, and you'd like think of like the tombs that you'd find in a desert that are like partially underground and stuff. Um, but it's a jungle area now, so a lot of the things here are overgrown and harder to get to, and it's a little more dangerous here now than it once was. And so when you guys get to this tomb, it's one of the ones that's been better cared for because Simon has a lot of family, right? And they do come here regularly and they clean everything up. And when you enter the tomb in the front lobby, there's the altar at the back of the room that all of them have. But this one, all of the most recent offerings have been things that you know Serapeth would have loved. And you can tell immediately looking like which ones were left by her siblings, which ones were left by Simon, um, except for one thing. And it sticks out to you immediately because you don't know anyone that would have given her a dagger.
Oh, interesting. Uh, yeah, I'd like to like investigate it without touching it because I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, that makes sense. It looks like a fairly normal dagger until you get up close. And once you get up close, you can tell that this isn't a dagger at all. It's an athame. It wasn't made to cut real things, it was made to cut magic. And in the hilt of it is a red gem.
Okay. I'm struggling. DM, do I take this item? Is this a gift for character or is this just a set dressing?
It's a clue.
Okay, it's a clue. Interesting. Um, yeah, I am actually going to kneel down and pick it up and kind of give it a deeper look. Um, take in the red gem. Does anything about that stand out to me as far as like is
Well,
it
you're a dwarf, so immediately you can tell that the gem in the pommel of this dagger isn't like a ruby or anything like that. It is expertly cut glass, and it's been made to hold just a little bit of magic. Now, for what kind of magic, you would have to like cast a spell to figure that out, but it's enchanted somehow.
and I will cast detect magic. I'll put on my little magic goggles.
Abjuration. It's a spellbreaker blade.
Okay. Hmm. Um, how do I want to go about this? Give me just a second. I'm going to set the dagger down for a moment and reach into little pockets I have in my armor and pull out a small, uh, sort of poorly carved little bunny rabbit made out of a piece of small block of wood. It fits in the palm of my hand very easily, and this is something that Serapheth gave to me when she was just a little girl, and I was just sort of teaching her bits of crafting. And we started with woodwork because it's easier than the metal work and the smithing that I do now. And I'll uh, I'll set it at the altar and say she's with her ancestors now, where she belongs, and I pray that you'll keep her safe and watch over her in her journey and the journey that I can't follow.
There is a breeze. It picks up. It shouldn't. There should not be a breeze down here. You're a little too far down for that, but it picks up and it wraps around you for a moment. And it's the same feeling that you got the first time you came here, the support of Simon's ancestors, but you can feel her with them this time. It's almost like you feel her arms around you briefly, like she understands. And give me give me insight with advantage. This
Oh,
is
okay.
your daughter.
Well, what are you at insight? That's a 13.
With advantage?
Yeah, because my other roll was a 1.
Okay, then what you get is that she doesn't mind if you take the dagger to investigate it as long as you eventually bring it back.
Perfect. Then I'll kind of give a cocked smile and slip the dagger into the pocket that this little bunny was in, and leave the bunny in its place.
So with there being so many mausoleums and ancestral things, is this town or does this city have more ancestral worship than deities, or is it a combination of the two?
It is definitely a combination of the two. Deities, for the most part, it is either going to be the goddess of the moon or the goddess of the sun. Like
Okay.
it's, there's either Narene, who you follow and is also sometimes referred to as nope, I can't find that in my note. Well, anyway, the sun goddess is referred to as her radiance. There's a title like that for Doreen, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Let me get back to you. I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no worries.
But yeah, a lot of people in the city are still more prone to honoring their ancestors than any god that isn't connected to them.
So as Tristan kind of, are you saying a prayer out loud, or were you kind of like just kind of bowing your head and speaking in your mind?
I spoke out loud.
All right. So um as Tristan does that, I don't know what the typical practice would be, but Gelthor will, whether it be take a knee, bow a head, he'll join in, and he'll offer his own thoughts and words into the mix, honoring those, and that while this is not exactly kin, he does consider Tristan family with the history that we've shared many, many years ago. And to me, that is equally important as actual blood.
And from what you know of the dark elves that have the tradition of doing this, they are prone to agree with you. So, does anybody else have anything that they would like to do in the tomb?
How big is it?
Oh, it's huge. Like, this is a big sprawling tomb. There are like a couple of different doors that go down like staircases down into the earth for branches of the family where the actual bodies are buried. Like, it's an
So
old
I could
family.
pull someone aside and have a quiet conversation.
Yes.
All right, I will make eyes at Raziel and try and motion him off to the side.
I will. I imagine while everything else has been going on, just sort of standing respectfully off to the side, maybe leaning against a wall, and when Hasid gets my attention, just kind of glancing back at the others, and then just push off and walk over.
So, Razzle Dazzle. I don't pay much attention to the going-ons of gods and politics and all that crap. I tend to stick to myself. But I am fairly observant. When'd you get the new ink?
I've not inked my skin. What are you talking about?
You have a mark on the back of your neck. I've seen it before, but not on you.
I think at that, just sort of kind of reaching back, and I imagine kind of feeling that sort of raised skin, maybe along the edges of. I'm imagining this tattoo, this mark, having a little bit of dimensionality to it. This isn't just ink under the skin. There's something else going on here.
While he's feeling it, can I also draw it on the ground or a tree or whatever happens to be
there's
nearby?
dust.
Okay.
It's a clean tomb, but it's a tomb.
Right.
Yeah, there's a layer of dust, I'm sure. Yeah. So I think, yeah, just a moment later, you just get that. Oh, that.
I don't care. I just want to make sure whatever it is, you're good with it and everything's okay with you.
I'm fine. You said you've seen it before, then you know what it is.
Seeing it and knowing are not necessarily the same thing. Like I said, I don't really pay attention or care.
I glance over towards where the others are. You certainly seem to be paying a lot more attention than you say you do. What is it that you're really trying to say to me?
All I wanted to know is whatever it was, you were good with it.
As I said,
And then I walk away.
I'm fine.
I have a question in regards to the tomb area. Is there like foliage around, vines, anything of the sorts, or?
Oh yeah, like outside though. All over the place. You're in a jungle.
I want to go to Tristan fast and say, with your permission, I would like to beautify her tomb.
It's your offering to give. I'm not going to say no.
So
Just don't take anything.
Okay. So I'll leave it as it is. So as I'm going to use speak with plants to kind of like beautify the area.
Okay.
Whatever area is whatever might be growing there, I want it to just grow a bit more luscious, like just a smidget or whatever.
So, like, you talk to these plants, and it's not very difficult to convince them to bloom here. You can, like, put flowers all around the entrance to, like, the family mausoleum. The plants don't stray inside the tomb. They know better than to do that, but they will do that here. And as I have whispered Gelthor and Tristan, they both got a point of inspiration for honoring the dead. Go ahead and take one as well. And yeah, is there anything else for here? Cool. So you gather your party, you head back to town. A couple of days pass. Klaus, you have been in the full throes of preparing for this wedding. The first thing I need to ask you is who out of all of the NPCs that you guys know are invited, and how big a deal is this? Like how big a party are you throwing?
What was the name of that goofy guy that we saw who talks with his hands? We briefly met him. He speaks with water currents in his hands.
Oh my god, you mean the yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I wrote his name down, but yeah, you can invite that guy. I've got it on a previous page somewhere, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure his name was just the name of his race or whatever.
It was.
Yeah.
It absolutely was. I just don't remember what that was right now because this was months ago.
Yeah, like I'll totally ask Geltor, yo, bro, can you
Creo.
get Creo? Yes, Creo. I'm like, yo, we need Creo, man. I think he might be falling at the reception. What do you think?
I mean, this is your party. It's whatever you wish.
Creo, definitely. You guys can each bring people too. Obviously, come on. You guys can get some veterans to some of those.
I'm imagining the entire Marcos family shows up. Like,
I was gonna say you're gonna give me like a +20, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I gotta write letters to Simon's family and make sure all the daughters know, and you know, it'll be a few days.
I slip you like 15 or 10 more invites because like I know how if you don't invite somebody and they even if they don't show up, they're like, "What, you didn't invite me? What?" You know what I mean? How it is?
yeah, absolutely.
So I slipped those
Yep.
extra invites.
Tristan is a bit of an introvert, but Simon is not.
No, not at all.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, anyone else you guys want to invite to the party is good, as long as they have good social manners, I guess.
So I'm not
I guess we're
invited
not
anymore.
invited.
You're invited. Get over here, man.
Come on.
All right. Does anybody else have any specific NPCs they want to make sure are there? Because there will be other people that will show up, but like I want to know if there's anybody else that you guys specifically want to be there.
What's the name of the bartender lady at the flagon?
Mina.
Mina needs to
think.
be there for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mina Toss Kettle. I stole that name from one of my IRL friends. It's not his name. It was the name of, like, Toss Kettle was the name of one of his characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she'll be there.
Absolutely, great. Happy to see everyone's RSVPing. Good. I like how we're using magic for this RSVP system. I can see it in real time. This is awesome. And yeah, I'm just excited. So I can't think of anybody else at the moment though. I'm pretty sure they'll send me messages like, "Yo, bro, how come you invite me, man? What the hell?"
No, there are a few people that I'm assuming end up getting invitations. Like Neverest will be there, for example, which is the girl that lives with Raziel.
Oh, we need those orcs too.
Yeah, they'll be there.
Great.
They were already on the list.
Great.
Things you don't often hear when preparing for a wedding. Oh, we need those orcs too.
Just
So, yes.
dorks.
So there are a few things that are just elven traditions that are going to be part of the decor, and a few songs that they're definitely going to play. There's definitely going to be like elven food available, but if there's like other things that you want to make sure are like up and there, aside from like the things that you would expect at an elven wedding, let me know. Like, this is the time to describe them.
I would like, if at all possible, a moment during the preparation phase.
Yeah.
All right, so now I would like to actually cast divination and basically contact Noreen and find out what she thinks is the best course of action for this particular event, given my ally's recent change.
So you get a warm breeze coming up from the south, a little bit of encouragement, and the distant, very distant roll of thunder. If you need her, she will be there. But the impression that you get is this is really about Klaus.
Okay.
All right. So the ceremony, I'm sorry, Klaus. Decorations, food, music.
Oh man, like, so literally, I'm pretty sure at this point, Arena has been like, "Hey, look, man, we need this, we need that, we need that." Which traditional, I guess, elven flowers used?
Ooh,
Lord of
I'm
the-
yeah, I'm feeling lilies. Like, that
Okay.
feels pretty elven to me.
Okay. So yeah, like, there's gonna be like lilies, like almost like a little archway, tables dressing with it as well. There's gonna be like silver silver like tablecloths, but at the end it's gonna be embroidered with a little bit of like gold like material. It's not actually gold, obviously. We're not that
Yeah.
rich. It's just faux gold.
It just looks like gold.
Exactly.
Do that with an illusion pretty easy.
Absolutely. I'm a bard. I can do this. Yeah. So yeah, that's
I will
what's
also,
happening.
because you invited Creo, there are going to be bubbles the entire time, like just occasionally bubbles floating through the reception, and it's beautiful. Like, it's just these lovely soap bubbles that like will hang there for a little bit after you catch them before they pop.
Awesome.
So Yeah, like it is a lovely ceremony. That part goes off without a hitch. Like, well, I mean, it does. There is a hitch at the end. That's kind of the point. But, um, you know, like, what kind of a person would you get to officiate for you? I will point out you do have a cleric in your party.
I'm about to say Gulthor.
And I was trying to figure out how to point up to the corner. I can't figure out this stupid reflective camera.
I think this way it is for me. So Gulthor, if you're down for it,
Absolutely. I mean,
especially if those-
I wasn't prepared for this as Ted.
Oh, sorry.
But no, it's completely cool.
In my head, Gelthor's like, I wasn't prepared for this, and he's pulling out his wedding script from his sleeve.
I mean, especially if you have ceremony spell
I
prepared.
was gonna say, did you have a chance to prepare ceremony?
So I mean, if I'm asked, before, day
You would have
of,
been Icely.
I would have absolutely been able to, get that added to my list.
Absolutely. That's definitely happening, man. Because I mean, like, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, like, gotta have the
So,
to it.
if Gelthor is going to do this, like he would ask, like, all right, what are the important, matters to, the bride and the groom? Like, do you want, religious connotations, ancestral connotations? Is this purely a bonding, like a hand fasting? So like he would go through all of this, and you might notice that at first, as he's kind of getting into it, like he's a little distracted, but as he begins focusing on the questions and making everything he's doing during this preparation about you guys, his eyes are a little bit more alert, and now it's more of a semblance of who he was previously. um Maybe even holding himself up a little bit straighter. uh but he gets through all the nuts and the bolts, and begins kind of preparing his own little you know, script or story for the actual event itself.
Well, I'll definitely confirm with already. Ancestral, right?
I mean, yeah, like she's down for that. She's you get the feeling that she's kind of like a Christmas Easter spiritualist. Like she doesn't really care as much about that aspect of it as long as you end up married at the end of the ceremony. Like
Exactly. She's down with the
she's
science.
perfectly happy to go with your preference.
Yeah. Keep it ancestral. You know what I mean? Because like, things is important for us.
So he would do a whole ceremony calling on, each of the ancestors through lines, calling out that he would have asked, for important to the bride and groom, members of their family, be it someone of note or significance to them, possibly like leaping back through the generations, specific, calling out specific names, asking for them to not only make an appearance but to bless this union, and offer the actual protections that go in. We would ask for the bride and the groom to not only prepare their vows, uh, but he would totally do the the commingling of blood, and fastening the hands together so that the two become one before all here as they're sharing the actual vows themselves.
All right. So what I want from you for this is either religion or performance, your choice.
Well, That is going to be absolutely religion for me.
I thought it might.
Let's see. I can make a religion at 5 or performance at -1.
Oh,
Um, so
So performance.
while it's not bad, I've got, the inspiration for starting and the inspiration for the honoring the dead. I want to see if I can get better because, this is important here. And it gets 1 better. So 19.
okay. Now, does anybody else want to like do anything to like add to the ambience while this is going on? Because we can make this like an extended skill check, and if I have an excuse to, I'm gonna.
I just found out I have prestidigitation, so I'll make the harmless shower of sparks and whatnot.
All right, what skill are you gonna use?
Prestidigitation.
No, I know you're casting a
Oh.
spell, but like, what skill are you going to use to like give it some oomph?
Intimidation. No,
he's gonna perceive for when it is the most perfect time to add
You
add to
can.
the
so insight.
Yeah, you can do that too. That works. As
I
long
know
as
you
you
had-
guys aren't using the same skills as each other, like if you can come up with a reason why it works, then it works.
All right. 15.
I know you had good perception, so I was throwing that out there.
Well, it would have only been 3 better, so.
Only 3 better.
All right. Klaus, you're exempt, but if either of the other 2 of you have something to add.
I do.
It's like a real wedding. The groom does nothing.
I mean, you could if you wanted
No,
to, but
that's
you don't
fine.
have to. Like, there's no pressure. Like,
No,
it's
no,
your
it's fine.
wedding.
It's fine. It's fine. I was like, oh, it's what I did at my real wedding. Oh my god.
Tristan spent the last 2 days in his workshop, and has been working on these little clockwork doves
Oh, that's
That-
adorable.
that he has got rigged up to launch as they walk down the aisle together, and they're just going to be like, they're going to fly out. The 2 of them are going to fly out in front of the bride and groom, sprinkling like flower petals as they go.
Cool. What skill is attached to this?
I'm just going to be using my tinkering tools.
Valid. Yeah, do that.
Oh, I don't want to roll that dice. That dice has not been kind to me. Okay, all right. I do not know what stat usually is attached to the tools. but I got-
Dexterity. All of
Okay.
them. Or is it intelligence? It's either dexterity or intelligence because I remember one of them didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, Dex
Um,
and Intelligence usually go with them, and it's a
Yeah, for now, pick
DM's
one.
call.
I'm making the argument that I'm using my intelligence from years of experience of having made
Okay.
these things,
Yeah,
and I got a 19.
There you go.
fantastic. Raziel, you got anything?
Hey.
Not to put you on the spot.
No. Actually, what I was thinking, kind of instead, I'm going to redirect it to play off of what Tristan does, and I'm kind of pushing the boundaries of what the light cantrip can do. But it's kind of like basically like using the Asimar radiance, and I think I'm going to just use performance to, as these little mechanical birds are releasing these flower petals, I'm going to cause the flower petals to glow with radiant light.
Cool.
And I rolled an 18.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
If I notice, the additional magic, being added in, I can add light, further light as well, but I can also give sound to it with some thaumaturgy.
What sound?
So to try and give the ancestor spirits a voice, it'd just kind of be like, that like low singing chant.
Okay. So you guys have invited these spirits here, and all of those roles were phenomenal, and they do very much show up toward the end of the ceremony. They have like lined the edges of the hall and are all like sort of standing there looking on. Klaus, you see a few of your own family members in there too. Like they're
snap.
here, they're supporting you, they're like proud of you.
Oh man, at least someone in my family's finally proud of me. That's like literally. I look over to Klaus almost tears up a little bit because like he sees over I guess his parents there, you know what I mean? Because by this time he's an old man, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's an
Yes.
old man. His parents like he's just kind of like, hey mom, hey dad, kind of like, but not trying to drive too much attention or ruin the ceremony neither. Just kind
Yeah, no, it's okay. Iridia does it too. As a matter of fact, because this is a thing that it is always like on the table to happen at a wedding in this city, like there's a part of the ceremony where you like can address your parents, like like why would you not work that in if it's a thing that happens regularly here, right?
yeah.
Like, so it doesn't always, and it's not a failed wedding if it doesn't happen, but when it does, it's considered a special blessing.
Oh man. Like there's so much awesomeness happening at this exact second in time. Like I'm dealing with the awesomeness happening here. I'm dealing with the awesomeness in chat. I'm like, yes. There's too much win tonight. I'm winning too much.
No,
Oh, don't
you
worry.
you have to have at least a little bit of win before everything falls apart.
Absolutely.
And my wins always come with a little bit of tragedy, so don't you worry.
So, it's a beautiful ceremony, and you do feel a little bit different coming out of it. Like you feel properly bonded to Iridia. Like this is precisely what it was supposed to be. And then the party is released to the reception. Now, do you want to tell me where you're gonna have this thing? Like,
Before I say what's happening, can I mention what
Yeah.
what I was told in chat, if you don't mind, Asa?
absolutely.
Oh, go for it.
Sorry.
No problem. So, evidently, at the end of the walk, after it all happens, these mechanical birds land on our shoulders both.
Oh.
One on my side, one on Iridia's side, and it has our names inscribed into it.
I love that. That's so cute.
Like in the second I see it land, I turn over to I'm not gonna mention the and then he says if I pull a bit of the plaque, I can see Dippy carved into the metal of it as well.
So there's a little plaque over top of a name that has his name on it, and if he pulls that up, he sees that Dippy was initially carved into the metal of the bird, and then this plaque is kind of put over top of it.
So in the middle of this walk, like I nearly turn over to Tristan and almost like my legs turn to jelly for a second, like you know what I mean? Almost like I'm getting like IRL DDoS whatever this is what you know what I mean? I'm like, oh man.
Iridia reaches over, takes your hand in hers, and gives it a squeeze and a small nod, like to let you know that she sees what's going on, but you're okay and it's okay.
And as per the spell ceremony, while the two of you are within 30 feet of each other, you both get +2 bonus to your AC for the next 7 days.
My AC is garbage. My AC is garbage. Yes.
Well,
So
just in case somebody attacks you on your honeymoon, you're a little bit better protected.
Yeah, you and your wife need to go get into some bar brawls.
Right. Why I know a plays, babe. It's called the Flagon. Right.
Which we've rented out for the reception.
Yep. Absolutely. That's exactly I was about to say that's exactly what it's the flagon.
All right, and I feel compelled to remind the audience, in case anyone new is in it, that the Tipsy Flagon is a boat that is actually on the water that just happens to like be retrofitted into a tavern. So if that's where you're having your reception, like Mina absolutely went all out decorating for you guys. So you get there and like there's the, streamers hung up, like actual cloth streamers, not like the crappy paper ones. Like the good dishes are out. And it is still a bar, like it's still a tavern, so the good dishes are still only so good, but like, it feels right. And Iridia seems into it. Like she's not like a Gilded Hall kind of person anyway. So, and your guests, this is their scene. So what happens is you guys get there, the reception starts, there's music, you've got like people actually playing, the orcs are playing, like they swap out with the string quartet occasionally to like add some percussion, and like their songs are just percussion, but they're great, like you can really feel the beat. So it's like if it's slow songs, it's the stringed instruments, and then some of them are just, you know um
So I guess it would be appropriate to take Iridia's hand and be like, we'd like to have this first dance.
Oh, absolutely. And she just smiles the brightest smile that you have ever seen on her face and walks out with you onto the floor. And the string quartet begins to play. And so for this first song, everybody stands back and they watch you guys doing this, and the spotlight's on you, and everything is like the boat is gently rocking, everything is calm, everything is great. It doesn't feel like anything could possibly go wrong right now.
You know what? Let me roll a performance check real fast just to make sure nothing
I'll
came.
do one for her too.
Oh, hell yes! I'm not even joking around. I nat 20 that, and I have a +8. 28.
Would you believe that so did Iridia? So, like, they're extremely graceful. You would think that they were trained to do this professionally from what is happening on the dance floor right now, considering the boat is rocking.
Not the only thing that'll be rocking.
Oh, God. All right. So,
We miss you, Frag. So yeah, like literally as all this is going down, Klaus is like, note to self, look into ceremony spell. This thing's really working.
so
But
after the dance, it is tradition for you to go to the head table, and the next thing that is meant to happen are gifts. And it is also tradition for elven couples that those in attendance to the wedding that have already been married, even those that are widowed, give you advice on what married life is like. So Tristan and Simon are gonna do that. But like that would be like as they are presenting the gift that they brought. So who in the party wants to go first here?
Aren't I the only married one? Oh, I guess as we are all bringing.
Yeah, no,
gifts.
everybody brings a gift. You were just the one that gets to give advice because you know about this.
Okay, well, Simon will wheel me up, and I turn to both of them and say, "Well, pretty sure I already gave you your gifts, but bit of advice. She's always right, even when she's wrong."
Simon chuckles, passes over a fur blanket, um, and like just sets it gingerly on the table. It's very soft. It's like a light gray, and he says, "It's okay to go to bed mad, but if you do, make sure you're ready to talk about it immediately in the morning."
And then I'm gonna lean into Klaus after that and whisper in his ear, "And don't try to have sex. Don't work out well."
And Simon is just nodding along with that as he's like moving off, like pulling Tristan with him.
I almost so like Klaus definitely knows he likes jokes here and there, but at the same exact time, he's like, I don't make jokes today, I guess. And he's like looking over to Iridia, like I'm gauging her face to see like,
Oh, she's laughing.
oh,
She thought that was extremely funny.
oh, then I will also go for it. Oh man. That's awesome.
All right, who's next? Looks like Frags is ready.
All right. Hassad will come up. Hassad? Dang it! Now you guys got me saying my own damn name wrong.
Let's see.
It's like, so you are two things that this land has never seen. First, you were a virgin bard, and now you're going to be a bard that's only slept with one thing. On that note, I was told to bring a roast, and I didn't realize it was supposed to be food, not jokes. So I'm going to give you this. It's been in my family for a while. It was given to me at my third wedding.
Oh, that
Hopefully
means
it-
you also have to give advice to say.
Yes.
Go
I'm
on,
aware.
sorry.
I give you a cup. It says whatever you put in will remain cold or hot, whatever it happens to be at when you put it in. It's nothing special, but it is convenient.
Magical +1 thermos.
It just says +1 thermos. It's not actually +1.
As for my advice, don't get married. And I turn.
Oh my god, Iridia is still laughing, like so hard that she's
This is
crying a
awesome.
little bit.
I do
awesome.
I do wink at her.
This is awesome. Hell, you know what? If Hassan wants to like do a roast session afterwards, I'm down with it.
I'm not very funny. That's all I could come up with. And then I'm bright red, and because I'm not used to speaking in front of a bunch of people, and I just go back to the side of the room and sit down and start drinking.
Oh god, yeah. I imagine that like eyes being on you is not a normal thing at all.
Can I roll a stealth check? No.
I would allow it if you wanted to. All right, who's next?
That tracks. That's a natural 1 for 7.
Okay,
What do you trip over as you walk away?
very well lit room.
He trips over a well-lit room?
No. Okay, smart guy, you're next.
So Gelthor actually, like, when it's, the concept of, exchanging, gifts, or not exchanging gifts, but presenting gifts. Like, he's not gonna be able to stealth anywhere near as much as, Sayed would, but I mean, he literally has nothing, and the only
Mhm.
reason he has stuff that he's got is because of, Raziel, basically saving it for all of that time. So he kind of just
Ooh,
like
I've got an
shuffles
idea.
off to the back.
And as you're doing that, Creo tugs your sleeve and holds up a shell. She told me to bring you this. Said you'd need it. I think this is why. And it's a conch. Like, it's a conch with sort of like silvered ends. But it's like a naturally occurring silver that you've got a feeling would like glow in the dark. And like, you know what this is and what it does. If they both bleed on it, then if one of them blows into it, the other one will hear it no matter where they are.
Okay. So I will look down to or look at Creo, and say thank you, and I'll kind of scoop it up, and then make my way eventually to my turn, and I'll present the shell. This is apparently not only from me, but from Noreen as well. Wow. The ancestors are here, and I kind of gesture more to Klaus that that I draw from Noreen. This can serve you well, and I give the brief description of what it is. But beyond this, I give of myself, my friendship, my time. We've done much, and those memories mean something. And I kind of get lost for a second as I, kind of glance over at Raziel. I hope that the journey the two of you take from here are full of laughter, love, and song.
This is not exclusive to just you out there, but as you're all coming up, I'm embracing you all, hugging you all, because this has been literally a journey, not just literally adventuring, but this is a different adventure Klaus has taken on.
Absolutely.
Which leaves Raziel.
Raziel approaches, leaning on his cane. Tucked under his other arm is one of the leather-bound journals that you may or may not have seen previously on a shelf in his home. Place it down on the table in front of you, in front of the couple. And as I set it down, and my hand still rests upon it. 20 years ago, St. Adelaide performed a miracle. I was there. The day she opened the Convergence. Not many people heard what I heard. The Asimir in the temples, sensing the change, began to sing. The song they sang is burned into my mind, but I'm no musician. I can barely carry a tune in a bucket of water, or however that saying goes. But I remembered it. It took me years to figure out what I wanted to do with it. Another decade until I found somebody that I trusted enough to commission this. I slide the book over to you, Faust. And the first thing you would see on the inside cover is an inscription written in a surprisingly neat handwriting that has ever so subtle flourishes. It's an unpracticed hand. It has a little bit of shakiness. Somebody who hasn't practiced their letters in a very long time, but it's definitely the handwriting of Raziel that says, I give you the songs of the angels. And in the pages of this journal, the only other thing that is contained is the musical annotations of the song that the Asimir sang on that day. And it is annotated in a way that, it's a composition. Many parts. It has parts for all different musical instruments. It's a very different hand that has written this out, but you can see where the ink bled into the parchment that this is a one-of-a-kind journal. This is the only written document of this song that Raziel talks about.
As I take this, I'm like, oh, thank you for such a gift. Wow, this is very, very old to the occasion, I suppose. I turn over to Iridia and say, I don't know if I can do these, and I kind of like turn over to Iridia, but still kind of keeping you, Raziel, at my angle as well, saying like, I don't know if I can do justice to these complicated songs, but I'll send them to you every night as long as I can.
Oh my god. So yeah, no, let me roll. Yeah, she absolutely swoons at that. There's no composure when you say something like that, Klaus.
Love that. Love that.
And,
Love that.
yeah, and she will turn her face to Raziel and like give you a thankful nod, just a meaningful look.
Raziel, I give that sort of slight bow and step back away. There's probably that. The best way I can describe it is this is somebody that knows how to keep himself composed and knows ceremony. But this level of showing of emotion, the best way I can describe it is he's very Ron Swanson in this moment.
Oh.
That's awesome, man.
So there are others. There were other people at the wedding. There are other people at the reception. You get a hand-carved chess set from Neverest. Like, she hasn't had a whole lot to do while she's been stuck in the house. She made that. It's a little rough, but it's her very first one, so you can forgive that a little bit. Like, it means something. You get drinking horns from the orcs, like, just people, the things that you expect would turn up at a wedding, and that passes through, and the night sort of progresses to more music, to more dancing, to some people drinking. How are you guys? Sorry, go on.
Oh no, you go. What's up?
No, I was gonna move on to the next plot beat. This is a great time to jump in, please.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like I guess like before the whole getting debauched happens.
Yeah.
I wanna kinda like, you know, do a quick speech, you know, to it. And they say life moves faster as we get older. But with Iridia by my side, I'm not worried about how many years are left ahead. What I do know is that each of those years is going to be filled with adventure because I get to share it with her. And Klaus is going to specifically look over to the table that he assigned his crew at, right? And speaking of adventure, I could have made it this far without my companions. I speak, you all have been by my side, thick and thin, facing dangers, triumphs, and brutal defeats. But it means the world to me that you are here today, standing with me as I begin this next chapter of my life. Turns over to Iridia and says, I know that with you by my side every day, there'll be nothing but laughter and adventure.
And occasionally science.
Of course!
She just beams at you.
And I cheer off to Iridia, to incredible friends. and a lifetime of love, laughter, and adventure.
And she will raise her glass and add, and to Klaus and his never-ending song.
You kind of see a little bit of blush. He's like, "Oh shit, I really gotta practice these songs now. I really gotta practice these celestial tunes and shit."
All right, so like people join in with this toast. It goes over really well. I'm not even gonna make you roll because everything has been like sterling so far. Why would this be any different, right?
Why would it be?
Right, you know, like getting into the party phase of things. All I need from you guys is to tell me what you're doing at this party at this moment.
So as things kind of get into the settle down, you know, all of the ceremony aspect is dealt with, and it's just kind of celebrating. Gelthor would, kind of be like waiting for a moment to try and, catch Raziel's eye.
I mean, pick your moment. For the most part, Raziel's keeping to himself. I mean, he's sitting with you guys, probably nursing a drink. At most, if he gets up and moves around the room, I think every once in a while he makes a lap around the tavern where flowers have been placed, and just rejuvenates them with a little bit of radiant light. So maybe it's around that point, Gilthor, you would find over in a corner of the bar where I've just sort of touching one of these for some reason I'm picturing, because it's still a tavern, it's probably a mason jar that's got flowers, or the equivalent of a mason jar that's got flowers in it, and just sort of the glow comes up a little bit on it. Yeah.
So it seems since we've gotten back together, it has been hard for us both to be on the same page. I know how much you have looked out for us over the years, doing even more than any of us ever truly knew or maybe even understood.
I was already standing up. I just grabbed another bite.
And I know I was in a dark place, and you helped shine the light. Now, if you feel that I am overstepping or looking to cause a scene, I will step back and not do anything to ruin our friend's day. But if I don't say anything, then I would not be living by the example that you yourself had set. Yes, many years ago, you chose to pledge your service. And and that means a lot to you. I see it in all of your actions. But just as you noticed my dark path, I think your own path is wending in a direction that you can't see. Never would someone as fallen as I have done, I'm never going to tell you what you have to do or even should do. I'm going to ask as friend, maybe I dare say family, to look within yourself, look beyond your oath, look to who you are and who you've been as a person, and say, is what you are trying to do, is what you are becoming, what you truly desire?
I imagine in the very pregnant pause that comes after Gelthor says that, there's laughter on the far side of the bar. The couple, we see the couple together, Iridia and Klaus, kind of leaning in close to one another, laughing at something one of them said. In response, I look at Gelthor. Do you think that Klaus decided to love Iridia as deeply as he does? Do you think that it was a decision that he made one day and
To an extent, yes. I've never been blessed with a long relationship of a situation like that. Sure, there were, and he just kind of like stops the train of thought.
it seems
relationships have to be a choice. Sure, there's layers of attraction and connectivity, but you have to choose to seek them out. You have to choose to strengthen them. The love that you're speaking of is infatuation.
for somebody that claims to have never had that level of relationship, you seem to be preaching knowledge beyond your experience, friend.
Well,
My point was
not exactly.
And well, it seems that those sort of romantic relationships have long since passed us by. Although, perhaps in another world, in another time, you and I are probably the closest to a couple that we could ever be. He kind of leans in and gives him a little bit of a elbow. What I meant to say was, sometimes we don't have a choice on who we love or why we love them. I pledged myself in service to Saint Adelaide many years ago. Out of a sense of duty. Yeah. But that duty became genuine devotion and true love. Not in the romantic sense. Not like those two over there carrying on like teenagers.
Get a room.
But I had no choice in the matter.
And I, back then, would not fault, that decision. But as time ticks by, we ourselves change. And again, learning from my own faults, learning from your own actions. I'm asking you to tread carefully. I'm afraid that you and the rest of us are not walking in the same direction. And that while you chose to serve her, what she was then and what she is now are not in anywhere close the same.
What she was is gone. For a very long time, she was gone.
That's what you pledged to. So if you say that she's gone,
she was gone. And now she's back. But if you think in all that time that I ever stopped loving her, then I don't think you know me as well as you think you do. And before you say anything else, Kelthor, you tread upon very thin ice, comparing your descent into alcoholism and my devotion to my dark saint.
Even your own words, you're calling her a dark saint.
I call her what she is.
And
you yourself said we change over time. She changed.
And you are okay being devoted to a dark saint. A being that, while once performed a miracle, now wields and surrounds herself with vast amounts of necrotic energy, attacking a city. You're okay with this?
Like I said, sometimes we don't have a choice.
Well, I do not want to cause a scene.
There's no need to fear a scene. I do not wish
very much
to quarrel with you.
I care very much for you, and I don't know how to find a path forward. I have struggled for most of the last half of my my life, and it seems as I rid myself of one trouble, I'm now saying, I'm now seeing myself confronted with this, where once you were, the shoulder to cry on, the bastion of friendship and leadership, and now I worry for where you will go and what will happen with your soul.
In what way have I caused you to worry that I'm going to leave? Am I not here now? Have I left? In what ways have I changed that give you such fear? I am still myself.
You are still yourself, yet just a few days ago, as you as moments after I said we should leave this tomb and not deal with this snake, you just completely and utterly ignored my words, surrounded yourself with literal dark power, and fought the snake on your own. You didn't act as part of a team. That is not the Raziel that we fought alongside. That is not the Raziel that cared for his brethren in arms.
I don't remember
That
the last time we ran from an enemy. And if I'm being honest, and I am, I did not hear your words. I heard what St. Adelaide had to say. She designated an enemy, and I took care of it. As for the power that I have at my fingertips now, how is it any different than you calling down lightning from the sky at the behest of your deity? Is it not okay for others to wield magic?
others
Especially if
wield
not
magic.
of a divine entity.
Others wield magic just fine. Tristan and Klaus have used magic for as long as I've known them. It's just only since Adelaide coming back that now you, who were much more physical, decided that now is the time for you to begin tapping into magic.
There's that word again. You speak of decision. Devotion and decision are not even of the same coin. This is not something that I decided. This is a devotion that I placed a long time ago. It's intrinsic to who I am, Gelthor. And nothing has changed except that Adelaide is back. And if she has chosen to bless me in certain ways, I would hope that you would see that for what it is.
Yes, there has been a change. She has changed. Either that or she was lying to us from the beginning. I don't know which. But I am merely expressing my concern because I don't know what part she plays. I don't know if it's not gonna it could be a moot point. There could be, we could solve this issue and we go back to our retirement and I figure out what I'll do with my remaining years now that a lot of you have helped me through my issue. But never mind. I've said my piece. I don't think you're seeing things the same way that I do, and I apologize. This is a party, and I just kind of hold up my cup of whatever non-alcoholic thing is available here. Give a give a slight toast in your direction, and whether you reply or not, I turn around and head back in the other direction.
I think as you do that, Gelthor, the glass that I'm drinking from, I hold up in response to your toast. And as you walk away, I set the glass down without drinking from it.
Yep.
So it is at about that moment that the door of the tipsy flagon bangs open, and there is the not so distant roll of thunder. And Gelthor, you know this is not supportive thunder. This is not happy roll of thunder, as the ambient temperature of the room drops, just slowly at first, but increasingly as the hooded figure saunters into the room with two other cloaks flanking her from behind. And pale hands with almost unnaturally bony fingers, but not quite skeletal in this moment, pull the hood down. And she's not just alive, she's in this room in this moment. And the music doesn't stop, but the partygoers have gone quiet. There's a twitch of a smile. The bar is closed. No one that wasn't invited should be here, but she crosses to where Klaus and Iridia are standing. And in this moment of quiet, says, I'm certain that my invitation was only lost in the post. And proceeds to hold out a box, a carved wooden one with a lock at the front.
As someone who's been like drinking since 6 o'clock p.m. that day with his wife, just got married. I probably was twerking before,
Working.
before, and I'm like, "Who is you?" Without even taking the bite, who are you?
And Iridia just kind of like closes a hand on your shoulder, and it's like tight and tense because everybody else in this room knows who this is. Like,
Do we?
you absolutely do. Like, St. Adelaide was a big deal back in the day. She opened the
Oh.
convergence point. Yeah.
I realize, but
oh.
I tend to purposely not remember who people are.
Okay, that all right, aside from you, Hussein.
Perfect.
Also, you're perpetually drunk, so
Yeah, like implant the hood. I'm all like, how? Who are you?
Yeah.
I could have recognized my brother if he had a hood on,
Well, no, she doesn't anymore. She has taken it down when she reached you and just offers up this ebony
Oh.
box.
I'm having an Invader Zim moment where you're just like, who are you? And she goes to answer, and you're like, who are you? But who are you? And don't give her a chance to talk.
Love it. That's exactly. Again, Klaus has been drinking since 6. And it's like well in the evening by now. So yeah, at this point, I'm like,
Like, Iridia doesn't say anything. She looks a little scared.
I take the box, and as he says that, like, I have to warn you that I was blessed with ceremony spell. I'm plus 2 to my AC. As he cautiously opens the box.
There is a crystal vial lying on a cushion on the inside. It is sharp at one end, like the ones that are like it's flared at the top and then like kind of comes down to a teardrop at the bottom, and there's a red liquid in it with a glass stopper.
What vintage is this?
It's not wine. It's a potion. One redo, one death undone. That is my gift to you on your wedding day.
I just stand there in complete shock.
And she turns to go, but looks back over her shoulder and says, remember to use it quickly. You'll only have a day. And then turns her eyes to Raziel, gives him a nod, and she starts to leave if nobody's going to stop her.
I will walk up to her.
And she does stop.
I will stand
As you
immediately
do.
behind Gelthor.
I will also stand.
Behind Raziel?
No,
I'll
just
stand
in the
behind
back of
Tristan.
the room.
No.
Tristan just like wheelchair to magical armor as
Yeah.
they all
As
stand
this
up.
is going on and everybody's realizing that they're standing up going on, the orcs are on their feet, Neverest is on her feet. Like, Neverest doesn't even know whose side she's on right now, just that everybody else is standing up, right? But
Yeah.
Yorick is standing right next to her and looks like he's about ready to drag her out if a fight starts.
I'm
So
looking for the fire alarm to pull it.
I keep my hands to my side. Very very obvious that it is a conversation, and I'll look back to the happy couple and then back to Adelaide and say, could I have a moment of your time outside?
She cants her head and she walks out, and her attendants follow, like in perfect step. As a matter of fact, give me insight. Anyone who wants to.
You would
Okay.
believe.
I rolled a bonobo, but I guess I can roll an insight too.
16.
17.
Not worth writing home about.
Yeah, those are both enough to realize that the attendants that are with her, they're not living people. They're absolutely just zombies in those cloaks under her control.
So when we step outside, I again, keep things that, I'm not making any kind of movement that could be construed as, casting a spell or reaching for a weapon or, anything. And I let her like see the emotions. I let go of the mask that I've been, dealing with. Part of me just wants to know if I ever really knew you.
How much do you really ever know anyone?
When we were was this part of that? I gestured at her.
It has been so long that it is so hard to tell anymore, she says, and she kind of tilts her head back, and as she's doing that, the thunder claps again, and it starts raining, and it is cold rain. This is not pleasant rain. This is disapproval of the highest degree, and she smiles.
I don't let the weather impact. I still let my emotions be plain and visible on my face. I don't know what your plans are. I don't know what your game is. I cared for you for a very long time. I thought you were gone. Thought you were beyond this world.
I was.
I don't know
And she
what to believe.
turns her head to look at you. And for a moment, no, give me insight. Just you.
19.
Okay. I'm typing to you.
Okay. So I don't know
Make
what
sure
to
it's on
believe.
him, not me.
I don't know what to believe. You gave me the ring to talk to me. At some point in time, you came back, but didn't try and see me. Now you're back doing things that are...
Anathema to you, she says. Quipped.
What was that?
Quick. Anathema to you.
Yes. You are doing things that are, the opposite of what you had brought to this place all those years ago.
And if I had come to you with this, would you have just gone along with it? Would you have been fine with that?
We'll never know.
No, I suppose we won't.
We all make our choices. And our separation caused me no end of pain.
Are you
I
blaming
don't
me?
know. No, I'm sharing. And now I worry that you are bringing the same kind of pain to Raziel.
I won't leave him again. When I leave, he'll come with me.
And you will take him from those he care about. He is already being pulled away from us.
I won't take him if he doesn't want to go.
He is blinded. He will do anything you ask. If you told him right now to go slay the bride and the groom, I'm certain he would do it.
Oh, I have my doubts about that.
I don't.
Fortunately, none of my plans should require him to have to kill any of you unless... And that just hangs in the air for a moment. The inevitability of that eventual clash.
No. What is it that you are trying to do?
There's somewhere I need to reach. But I fear that if I tell you any more about it, you will use that. You will try to stop me. And I can't have that.
Why?
And she just looks at you for a minute longer, and that strange feeling that you got earlier when she was looking at you, it's not in play anymore, that thing that I whispered to you. No, you are seeing what you expect to see in this moment. And she doesn't say it, but you know the answer. Because you might win, because it might work. But that is all silence. That is all implication.
There are so many that see the miracle that you've caused here. For centuries, your name will probably be known. But if you continue down this path, even if it's not my companions who literally aided you in this miracle, someone else will rise up to stop, because this path you're on is not who you were.
Gelthor.
It should not be who you are.
She turns bodily to face you now, and like you can see a seriousness that was not there previously when she says, it was not a miracle to the people on the other side of the convergence. And that didn't matter to you then.
What was the other side?
Now you're asking questions. You can always go find out. And she starts walking.
Field trip, field trip. I uncock my crossbow.
I'm waiting.
One-
I got a thing to say,
one-
but
one second.
I think at this point it's pretty clear that Treston is standing right outside the Tipsy Flagon.
All right. Just because I think it would be fun and maybe make Noreen happy. Crap, I'm looking at the wrong spell. Where is the damn thing?
Turn undead, her little skeleton companions.
No.
Oh my god, that got me.
Have all those skeletons running all over my reception, like, yo, what the hell?
All right.
They could join in. What level's Dance Macabre?
Third dancing a thriller.
Thriller.
All right. I wanted to do something, and it doesn't seem like I've got the ability. I just wanted to try and not attack anyone, but I wanted to make the lightning strike. But I don't actually have control weather. I've got control water. Lame.
It's already raining.
Yeah. See,
So
the farther away she gets, the lighter the rain is going to be. But Noreen does really like that idea and will absolutely strike pretty close to her just to see her jump.
I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't trying to attack her.
Oh,
or,
yeah,
you know,
no, she understands. Like, this is because if she actually struck her with lightning, that would be against the rules. But close enough just to give her a little fright, no, that's great. That's perfect.
Oh, you made me ink.
And that's when Treston will say, "Oi, Saint."
And she pauses again, like still a little bit on edge from the lightning strike, and turns just to look, like just upper body only.
What curse comes with your gift?
wait. Only her upper body turns around,
That's what
or
I
like,
was.
does she
I
look
mean,
over her
like
shoulder?
yeah, she looks over her shoulder. Like it's
Okay,
not like
all
she's
right.
like
She's not fully
like, she-
engaging. That's how I took it. Not
Yeah.
some creepy
Okay,
exorcist stuff.
Sorry, I was thinking like, your old Transformer toy that you like, your GI
Oh,
Joe that you
that's
turn completely around.
very funny. But if I'm doing something creepy like that, I will describe the bones snapping when I do it.
My
All right,
my mind
gotcha.
went to the same space when you said that, Ted. I was like, yeah, she's your action figure. She just do.
So Treston asks what curse comes with her gift.
Yep.
And she says, only the one where it can't reach back farther. And she continues to walk again.
Meaning it's not going to be able to help your daughter.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's all I had.
And the rain. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say out of character. I wish we had text and Tristan at this point instead of like, "Oi, say," to be like, "Howdy, partner, wait you, you're ruining it too hard."
Now just hold on a gosh darn minute.
Hey there, partner.
Right,
I
I
do
would love
declare.
that.
What foul curse befalls those who use your potion?
This town ain't big enough for the two of you.
It definitely ain't big enough for the four of us, because she got them skeletons too.
No,
Gotta
Klaus,
give
you
'em the
will.
pew, pew, pew.
You'll be able to get this confirmed while you're on your honeymoon, but it is exactly what she said it was. It's basically just like a single-use resurrection potion for somebody that died within the last 24 hours. That is all it is.
Yep, my wife confirmed with all her science. That's exactly what it is. And a wise man once told me,
I mean, you wouldn't know right now, but you'll find out. I'm just telling you right now because you're not going to be here next session.
okay.
Cue Nightmare Before Christmas montage, and that's how his wife figures it out.
Yeah.
I am scared of the implications. Like, is she giving this gift as like, okay, well, this is a gift, like, oh, if something were to befall one of the two of you, threat. You've got something.
Oh yeah, this definitely sounds like a warning.
Hasayad's gonna go find someone that can notarize a DNR for him.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah. So
resurrect.
the
I'm getting too
rain,
old for this shit. I don't want to come back.
the rain eventually stops. And uncomfortably at first, the party continues. But it doesn't seem to have put a damper on the entire evening. People seem pretty all right. You've got Neverest dancing with Yurik in the corner over there, pretending that Raziel can't see them. Is there anything else that you guys want to do in this scene?
I will say, just for what Treston has been up to, the early part of the night, he's not looking to engage with a lot of people, but like the orcs and him kind of hit it off, start arm wrestling and drinking.
Oh
and
yeah.
all that, and then this Adelaide situation happens, and it sort of just results in Treston, going back into his wheelchair mode and rolling himself into a corner, and just nursing a drink while kind of glowering.
No.
So
Simon
if
is
I
gonna
notice,
come get you and make you dance with him.
never mind.
Oh, sorry,
gonna
Nilko.
say-
I'm sorry if you wanna.
No, I was gonna say if he's pulling away, Gelthor would have gone over to kind of sit with him.
Yeah, I mean, like,
What?
Simon would notice you doing that and let you do that first, but eventually he's gonna get another dance out of his husband.
Sure, yeah, by all means. Who am I to stop the revelry?
I want to call for a cheer up, a roll. for me.
Do it.
You want,
I want
you want
someone
me
to roll
to-
to cheer me up. Yeah.
Oh.
you want? All right.
Go for
I'll
it,
attempt. I'll
This is-
attempt a persuasion roll.
Don't look at me.
Ooh, I got a pretty high grumpus
Alright.
roll, so let's see what that's
Well,
Grumpus
Uh,
roll.
Yeah.
I'm
I
the
love
guy they
that.
bring in when people are too happy.
yeah,
I'm what you call a cooler.
all right. All right. Well, that would be a 13.
my DC is a 19.
All right. Well, I I don't quite get you there, but I at least made a valiant attempt.
So, what were we rolling to attempt to cheer you up?
Oh,
Persuasion.
after. Oh, yeah, persuasion, deception.
Because
whatever you
I
want.
just rolled a nat 20 on persuasion.
Just
Oh.
for
For
a
shiggles,
total of
I rolled a
24.
performance check.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What'd you get? What'd you get
Why
for
are your
performance?
dice this cursed? A total of 0.
Oh,
Hussein
jeez.
got a total of 0. Describe to me how you completely botched this performance, please, and then we'll get back to Raziel for the success.
Yeah, I'm
I was-
curious how Tristan feels worse after this.
I'm assuming that I went to go do some kind of whatever. I don't even know because
It was
it
your
was
roast
it was so
routine.
bad that yet again I tripped over the lit room. And I think it's because I was drinking too much and I just passed out. I'm in the middle of the dance floor.
Oh man.
One of the orcs just comes and like tosses you over his shoulder and carries you into a back room.
As you pass by, you drunkenly just be like, well, you can't resurrect your daughter.
Oh my god.
I'm
No,
gonna be the
that's-
Newtown Gelthor.
That's what a 0 looks like.
IRL.
Town Gelfor. That's so
I meant
mean.
drunk. My bad. Sorry.
I didn't mean what I said when I was drunk.
All right. I am
didn't
really
mean what I broke
curious.
What I said.
I'm really curious how Raziel, the one who is the servant of the woman who has put Tristan in a bad mood, is going to cheer him up. It's gonna happen. I just want to know how.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out what is it that would the only thing I can think of that I think would distract Tristan and enough that he would start to cheer up is presenting Tristan with a problem that needs to be fixed technologically. I'm thinking, but I'm racking my brain, trying to think of what that might be. My longsword is my cane because of you. But I'm trying to think of. I'm just gonna say I present you with some problem that I will figure out when I'm not on the spot. But I think it's definitely giving you or if you come up with something. But I think it's something that can be solved through. It requires you to start. Basically, I give you that first seed you need to have a new idea of something to make and to solve a problem. So it's less of a direct like, hoo-hoo, I'm going to cheer you up in this way than I redirect your emotional state into creativity.
Yeah, I like that.
In fact, take a point of inspiration for knowing your comrades that well.
Actually, I think I know what it is.
Okay, cool.
Because it fits with the sort of Da Vinci punk. And it fits with the Aasimar aspect, because the type of Aasimar I am, I do not have the ability to sprout wings.
You've been grounded.
Yeah. So I'm tasking you, and in my mind, I think it's less of a, man, I really want to fly. It'd be really cool, but this is probably kind of an impossible task. This is going to keep him busy for a while. And so I kind of lay that out to figure out the wings problem, the lack of wings.
Yeah, so you kind of
See
bring that up.
what I did there is I appealed to both Tristan and Asa.
Yeah. you kind of bring that up, and Tristan gives it a bit of thought and goes, They got me starting this city building flying contraptions. I think I can. And he'll kind of talk his way through it a little bit, and then Simon will approach and ask for a dance, and Tristan will
Mhm.
kind of nod, and then as Simon begins to wheel him away, he's gonna turn to Raziel and just say, "Thank you."
So at some point, by the way, Tristan, before you leave, Iridia will tell you to stop by the lab before she and Klaus shove off, because she was researching this thing on a more biological front and would like to share her notes with you because she's not going to be able to work on it while she's gone anyway, and thinks that you can benefit from them.
Oh, all right. So, are we doing that now, or is that a later thing?
No, I mean, we don't actually need to play it out. She's just going to give you a binder full of like loose notes, and it's going to be horribly disorganized. She knows where everything is, but you making heads or tails of this is going to be very hard at first.
Because
And I bet you understand exactly what that's like.
Of course, Iridia brought a binder full of loose notes to her own wedding.
No, she asked him to come by the lab to get the
Oh,
binder.
okay. I was picturing that she's just like, hey, here.
Yeah, I
No,
think
she
we're
does
doing
have
like
a
fast
notebook,
forward.
but it's like a tiny little thing that she keeps in her pocket.
She's got a little
like,
moleskin notebook in her
Yeah.
pocket of
She's
her dress.
quirky. She's really quirky like that. That's why I like her.
Going through it all at one point, Tress want to look at Simon and be like, "Is this what it's like when I ask you to get one of my tools out of the workshop?"
Yes. Yeah, I had a notebook at mine too. But yeah, unless anybody's got something else that they would like to do in the here and now, I think I am comfortable calling it for the night.
All right. Well, we can all say, a final congratulations to, the happy couple, and we'll see where the story takes us next time. We will have one final session for 2024 before we take our December break for our monthly game, and then we'll be back in 2025 to see.
Y'all leveled.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Go on. Sorry, that was
ooh.
important, and I almost forgot.
That's the 8th level. That's the stat adjustment. Nice. So like I said, we'll be back in 2025 to see where where things go and what mysteries to solve. You can come back on Tuesday night to join Robin and Carlos and myself for the finale of Mutant Mayhem Ball League and the crazy Gamma World game that we are playing, and then we'll probably have a week or two off before we wind up returning with a new game, which I will be in the zookeeper seat for some more Zoo Mafia shenanigans. This time things are going to be a little bit different, so come on back and see some fun stories. Don't forget all those awesome links down in the description below to where you can not only find these wonderful people while they're not here, but as well as the link to Easy Roller Dice and that promo code to get a sweet discount on your first order. So until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay
Stay nerdy.
Very nerdy.